Hi, my name is Daniel St. Germain, and this is Management 655, Grand Canyon University, December 15th, 2016, Phase 2 and 3, Planning and Implementation at Big O Tires Communication Plan. The first thing apparent is that the Mesa automotive aftermarket is saturated with repair facilities. Competition is fierce, and as such, Big O Tires Mesa location faces threats from every angle. In this type of market, customer retention becomes key, and Big O Tires has been losing ground. The problem stems from customer returns due to leaking tires, caused by improperly installed or not installed at all tire pressure monitor sensor valve kits. In order to determine what specific root is causing this failure, we used a fishbone diagram as indicated in the photo above. Now, rather than go into all the specific areas, the two main areas we were considering were employee dissatisfaction and also no standard operating procedure regarding installation of the valve kits. As where in this industry profit margins are low, indicating that payment for employees hourly is not that high, benefits are also low due to the shrinking profit margins in this industry, we thought that could be a potential concern. However, our thoughts turned to McDonald's as an example. Wages at McDonald's and other fast food industry businesses are also low. However, a Big Mac is always a Big Mac when you order it. That being the case, we realized that it could not be employee dissatisfaction, but rather no standard operating procedure implemented for installing the tire pressure monitor valve kits. That is the root cause of this failure. The next thing we needed to do was a stakeholder analysis, as indicated in the picture above. The major stakeholders in this analysis are going to be the store owner. Big O Tires are franchises. As such, the store owner has carte blanche with what he allows management to do and not to do within his store. Second to the store owner is also the regional manager, because he enforces franchise policy throughout the region. These two are going to be critical for buy-in for this process improvement. Second, the assistant manager. He is also critical as he oversees the majority of the functions going on in the shop. Third, employees will need to be informed about the process, although they will be limited to how much input they have into the changes. And then lastly, customers aren't necessarily that interested in our process improvements. They simply care that their tires are inflated and don't leak when they leave. Now, the most affected business units with regard to this process change, first and foremost, is going to be shop employees. The shop employees are going to be responsible for utilizing the new process directly. Second is going to be salesmen, because the salesmen work directly with the shop personnel and also directly with customers. Therefore, any changes to the process will affect how they interact with A, the employees, and B, the customers. And third, mid-level management are also going to be required to oversee both these groups of employees, and therefore this process will affect them as well. This is the project timeline. During week 1, we're going to be assembling the team. The team is going to consist of the store owner, the assistant manager, the manager, that's myself, the regional manager, and 2 shop employees. And during this week, we're going to do a brainstorming session in order to generate out-of-the-box ideas as far as how to improve this process. If, because of the different ranks of employees by team tenure and also ownership, creates a problem in the group brainstorming session, we will then opt for the Delphi method by handing out pre-prepared questionnaires to be turned in at the second group meeting in week 2. During week 2, this is going to be the best ideas week. We're going to use the top 3 ideas developed either during brainstorming or Delphi method, and then those 3 ideas will be researched and analyzed by smaller groups of the project team of 2 members per group. During week 3, We're going to present our findings from the mini groups to the larger group as a whole. We're also going to analyze the regression analysis. This is going to be a quantitative method we're going to use to assess the validity of these specific ideas. And then based on the data compiled and the information provided, we will select the best idea that is cost effective, but also can be done in a timely fashion and hopefully will effectively solve our problem. Week 4 is going to be our training week. We're going to be sending out a mass email through the company intranet site for all employees, management, and also regional management. In addition, it's going to go to corporate as well. Furthermore, we're going to do a training module this week. The team will be responsible for creating a training module to train all new employees on this process, followed by giving the training later that week to all shop employees, along with pamphlets indicating how the process should be performed and consequences / job expectations, which all employees will be required to sign. Week 5, that is our implementation week. The first week we're going to be implementing the process, and the project team will directly supervise the process. During this week we'll be collecting data. Week 6, further implementation. However, there will be no direct supervision. Data will also be collected this week. Then in week 7, we're going to be doing an evaluation of the first 2 weeks of the implementation to see how the process has improved the business, and then we will make adjustments if necessary. Some of the strategies used during this project. As mentioned earlier, a fishbone diagram, and we use this to establish the root cause. Stakeholder analysis, this was used to determine the most important stakeholders in the process and also how best to achieve buy-in. Project timeline, used to track our project progress and provide weekly goals. Brainstorming, used to create a flow of ideas and team synergy. Also the Delphi method, used only if brainstorming is ineffective. Regression analysis, used to determine potential solutions effect upon the dependent variable being customer comebacks as a result of improper installation of TPMS valve kits. Some of the strategies we specifically avoided for this project, the 5 whys. We didn't use the 5 whys because of the potential for selecting the wrong root cause. For example, our fishbone diagram, we were able to determine that the standard operating procedure was in fact the root cause as opposed to employee dissatisfaction, whereas in the 5 whys we may have deduced that employee dissatisfaction was the root cause. We also didn't use employee surveys. Although they could have been useful, we decided to use 2 employees from the shop in order to get their perspective on the process and use their suggestions as a representation of the entire shop. We also didn't use gap analysis, and the reason for that is at present the team was unaware of any prior projects that assessing the said problem could be compared to. Phase 3 is going to be evaluation, key performance indicators, customer retention. So we will be looking at how many customers we retain historically and also from the moment we implement the process moving forward over the next 6 months. In addition, we're going to be looking at how many customers actually come back due to leaking tires. Last, we're also interested in knowing how much tire replacement service time increases as a result of these new processes. The quantitative methods we will be using to analyze the data that we compile, as mentioned, regression analysis. The qualitative methods that we're going to be using are going to be customer surveys. Both we have ample historical data as far as regression analysis and also customer surveys, and so we will be able to use that to compare against the data we collect over the 6-month period following implementation. Thank you for listening to this communication plan. Our references are as follows. Jacobs & Chase, Operations and Supply Chain Management. Thompson R., stakeholder analysis, winning support for your projects. Vorn, top 25 lean tools. Thank you.